So now we're going to be talking about selling psychology. And selling psychology is a little different to sales psychology because this is more from your perspective. Because a lot of trainers have the wrong idea about sales. With sales, there's a perception that salespeople are greedy, that they'll do anything to get the sale, they'll cross any line, and that sales is somehow unethical, and it's not. It's simply the act of closing a deal and in exchange of value that involves persuading the clients to make positive changes to help change their lives to get better for an exchange of money. We deserve to get paid for what we do, and we will never get paid what we're worth unless we master the art of selling to our clients. And if we address sales and chase after sales in a way where we are really doing it from a position of we're trying to facilitate change in our clients rather than just trying to get their credit card details, we're going to do a lot better. So what we really need to consider is that sales is all about persuasion. And it's convincing someone to take an action or adopt a new behavior. And when we look at that, really, sales contributes to everything we do. We're selling someone on the concept of changing their nutrition. We're selling someone on the concept of shifting their mindset. And we're selling someone on the concept of committing to a regular workout routine. So when we're doing this, we're not just selling people on giving their program, we're selling them on doing these things as well. So if we get better at selling people at the beginning stage, where they've got a little bit of resistance to training and changing their nutrition, etc., and then getting them into the program, working with us, and then we've got to then sell them on the benefits of doing certain things for them to actually achieve their goals, it creates a much more congruent psychology for us to approach it. Because a lot of trainers don't want to do a sale. They'll walk away from a sales process, and they'll certainly get discouraged early on because that fear of rejection and the fact that they perceive sales to be a problem. Okay, so sales is really a mechanism for behavior change. To do it properly, we need to understand our client needs, be an effective communicator, and basically build a relationship, because personal training is a relationship-based business. So we need to understand first the needs with what drives the client decisions. What are their pain points? What are their goals? What are their motivation? If we can do that, we can then tailor the solutions that we offer to address those pain points, goals, and motivations. So if someone has back pain, how can we tailor what our services are to actually solve that problem of back pain? Is it if we do a customized workout that's going to strengthen the muscles that you need to strengthen, that's going to help you remove your back pain and be able to play with your kids without pain? That's addressing the sale by the way that addresses the client's needs. Now, communicating the benefits, you should use storytelling and testimonials. I had a client just like that. Sally had a sore back too. We did some work on her glutes and some hip flexor strengthening, and then she was able to run around and play with the kids again. And that's the kind of outcome that we want our clients to get. So it's not so much more about the features, which is what a lot of traditional selling is. It's about the benefits and the experiences that the client gets. And then building a strong relationship. Building a rapport with the client and demonstrating empathy helps you align your goals and the client's goals together. So how do we do this? If we approach sales from the perspective of helping rather than just selling, we increase the effectiveness of our PT efforts as well. If we have empathy and support, we're going to make the client feel like they can actually trust us and come to us with their problems. They'll also come when they're not so satisfied. So that makes that whole process a little bit better. When we do the long-term value, we can look at not getting people in for a short-term result. We can get them in for more of a longer-term commitment. So we're trying to get rid of that whole idea of they're going to change their body in 4, 8, or 12 weeks. And then personal growth. But those changes are not just about physical results, but also the personal growth that's going to come from that. Anytime you feel more physically capable, you will feel more mentally and emotionally capable as well. So it's all part of getting that to fit together. Okay? So where do we do this? In the initial consultation, really send it, rather than going over like the things in the form and trying to explain how this is going to work, which is what most trainers do in initial conversation, and then the features of their service that are online, really spend way more time on the client's needs and goals. Clients don't care about the features. They care about the results and the outcome they're going to get and how they're going to feel. So if you can frame your recommendation in that way that addresses their pain points, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable. Okay? Now, with goal setting, the same thing happens again. Make sure the goals align with their personal values and aspirations and also their pain points, which makes it feel like a partnership rather than a transactional approach. And then ongoing motivation. So you're constantly refining that process and working with the client ongoing to bring them back to their goals, bring them back to their motivation. So that sales consult that you did all the way in day one is something that you use all the way throughout your relationship to remind your client of why they're there and what they're trying to achieve.